They're even doing a story on your life. They're doing a movie about you now. Is that true?
Yeah, that should be out next year. And in fact, they're kind of going all out. They're building a full-size installation against the side of a mountain out here when they do that filming.
Gene Huff, Bob's longtime friend and business partner, who is the writer and co-producer of the Lazar tape. Gene is a real estate appraiser and screenwriter. His screenplay S4, the Bob Lazar Story, has recently been optioned and was chosen over 3 other screenplays on the Lazar Story. Bob Lazar, the man behind The Legend of Area 51, has recently signed a deal with UK-based Blue Book Films to finally bring his unique story to the screen. And this is a man who does not do interviews.
You know, this is the 3rd try. Initially, Columbia Pictures wanted to do a movie some years back, and they hired a writer and spent somewhere around $400,000 to pay this guy to write the story.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, essentially, it's just a chronological list of events that you're going to have to form into a movie. However, writers want to get creative.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And, you know, this guy turned it into a James Bond story.
So what, you got a chance to read this and said, I'm sorry, I'm not associating with this, or what?
Well, they never give you right of refusal to the script when you're dealing with a movie company. The only thing you can really do is just say, you know, hey, I'm not going to support it, because they essentially force you to go do other interviews on TV and whatnot, and you know, they're going to sit you down, and the first thing you're going to say, well, is this an actual account of your life? And you're going to have to say no.
Yeah.
And, you know, there goes the movies.
I thought we were seeing a change in the world. In fact, I would tell Bob, before it ever went public, I'd say, boy, you know, this would make a great screenplay. And, in fact, right after he got caught, I was going to put material together to write a book, and he knew I had done some screenwriting in the past and gone to screenwriting lectures and courses and things like that. And he said, don't write a book. Why don't you write a screenplay? And
I'm told that you're not going to do many interviews, or perhaps not any, after this one. What's going on?
Well, what happened is actually, believe it or not, there's someone trying to call. Yeah, Gene actually knows more about this than I do.
Well, you know, when they optioned my screenplay, aren't they? You know, Bob's Story has been owned by 2 separate movie studios who, for whatever unknown reason, have not allowed the movie to make it to the screen.
Well, that was basically because of me, because I kept turning down their screenplay.
Yeah, you know, Bob, he gives them freedom in a straitjacket. I mean, he won't allow them to do all the outrageous things they need to do, and so there was long bargaining. This studio wants to get the movie on the screen, and they want Bob to give them his attention, and they want him to be actively involved as a technical consultant on the movie. And Bob never does any interviews anyway, so it wasn't much of a demand. He never goes anywhere, so he agreed to it to give them the impact if they're going to spend tens of millions of dollars to get a realistic portrayal of his movie on the screen. They'd like him to wait and I guess do the rounds when the movie comes out.
Well, so it's a rare opportunity.
Yeah.
I want to thank you both.
like you said, I wrote the screenplay, and of course that movie's almost been made 4 or 5 times now, but always falls through for whatever, through the millions of normal Hollywood reasons.
I guess you weren't thinking about the marketing potential immediately. I mean, you thought about a screenplay, but good gosh, this thing has become a cottage industry. It's gone in so many different directions and all over the world.
In fact, John and I just said today that there's nobody on this planet that has made less money from ufology than me and John Leary. Everybody in the world has sold videos and books and everything in the world. We haven't made a cent.
That's what's kind of entertaining to me. People, you know, they come, oh, you made up some story. I bet you're making all kinds of money. I'm like, where? I want my cut. But no, you know, to be honest, I did have the opportunity. I mean, New Line Studios in Columbia, you know, when they heard all this, I mean, the president of Columbia Pictures came down and, you were there, right? Yeah. And, he said, we're doing this, and, you know, and they started giving me screenplays, and no, you know. It was a James Bond movie. They had me running over the tops of cars. It's like, look, either you tell the story how it happened, or leave me out and just make up a UFO story. But you can't. It has to be exactly what happened. And so it was just constantly everything being turned down. And it's like, you know what? We're not doing it. The last thing I want is, you know, a movie coming out or something like that. It would be a catastrophe.
Well, it'd be a great movie if they made it right.
Well, I don't know. You know.